Mouth breathing while you sleep may seem harmless, but it can actually lead to a ton of health issues. And I don't just mean bad breath, we're talking about your entire body here. Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Michael Bruce, the sleep doctor. Let's talk about what happens in your body when you mouth breathe and, most importantly, what you should do for this. There are a ton of reasons someone might be a mouth breather while they sleep. Biggest one, allergies and congestion are a very common reason. If your nose is stuffy and it's tough to breathe with your mouth closed, you might be more likely to be a mouth breather during the daytime, and that can definitely translate to evening times as well. Alcohol is also a really big culprit. When you drink, your muscles in your throat begin to relax, and they're more likely to cause you to snore, and that can actually contribute to you opening up your mouth while you're breathing. And then your facial anatomy also plays a pretty significant role. Deviated septums can be a problem. Sleep apnea could be caused by enlarged tonsils or adenoids. So there's a whole host of reasons why people might be a mouth breather and some of the problems. So you might be thinking, well, so what? Who cares? As long as I'm getting enough oxygen into my lungs, it really doesn't matter what route it takes, the mouth or the nose. But here's the thing. Your nose acts like an internal filter. When you breathe through your nose, the hairs in your nose called cilia serve as a first line of defense. They filter these little itty bitty particles and things from the air, what we call particulates. Also, taking in air through the nose warms it and humidifies it. This makes it really good for your respiration system, and it makes it much easier for oxygen to actually be transported. The nose also produces something called nitric oxide. This is a stimulant of the cardiovascular and immune systems. Nitric oxide is super duper important, and it's picked up and transported through your body by breathing through your nose. Your mouth does not really have any of these filters, so it's a little like putting leaded gas into your car, and when your body takes in bad air, it suffers as a result. What I tell people all the time is remember, like, noses are meant for breathing, mouths are meant for eating. So what are the actual problems? Well, we know that mouth breathing leads to several different things. Number one, bad breath and dry mouth. But also there's some more systemic issues like gingivitis, tooth cavities, as well as significant tooth decay. You may also be experiencing throat or ear infections, and we also know that mouth breathing leads to low oxygen concentrations in the blood. This is associated with a higher risk of high blood pressure and heart failure. And don't forget, high blood pressure puts you at risk for heart attacks and strokes. Mouth breathing also forces you to lose up to 40% more water. So in addition to waking up with a dry, parched mouth, you're actually dehydrating yourself. Mouth breathing decreases your lung function and exacerbates symptoms in people with asthma. So how can you tell if you are someone who breathes through their mouth? Well, a lot of times you don't know, so you have to ask your bed partner. So your bed partner might say, oh, I could hear you last night, or you could wake up with a really dry mouth. You could be told that you don't have very good breath. You might actually ask your dentist, or your dentist might ask you if you're a mouth breather because of significant tartar and calculus buildup. Also, for some people who are mouth breathers, they get a slight metallic taste in their mouth. This is sort of the bacteria in your mouth that you have a specific base versus acidic level, and it can make you feel like that taste and start to let you know things aren't going so well. So what kind of treatment should you seek if you're doing this? Number one is, I always tell people, if you're being told you're a mouth breather, you probably need to do a sleep study. Why? You want to rule out sleep apnea. Here's the good news. Since COVID, it's super easy to get a sleep test. You don't even have to go to a hospital. You can actually have one delivered to your home in what's called an HST, or a home sleep test. We actually have them over on sleepdoctor.com, so I highly recommend that you try them out. After you've had the sleep test and we know that you don't have sleep apnea, one possibility for mouth breathing is mouth taping. So you've probably heard lots of people talk about mouth taping out there. So I'm gonna tell you, I tried it. I tried it for a couple of weeks. Gotta admit to you, it was a little weird at first. So first of all, my wife thought it was a little strange, but when I explained to her that I'm trying to see if I'm a mouth breather, she mentioned to me that I'm not a regular mouth breather, but it does appear to be on occasion that I am mouth breathing. She said more likely on my back than on my sides. Okay, figured we'd give it a shot. So I did it for about 2 weeks, and here's what I can tell you. It was definitely confining to me. When I was lying there in the dark, kind of breathing, I kept wanting to be able to breathe out of my mouth, even though I wasn't necessarily doing it. It just felt restrictive and a little restraining to me. So it was hard for me to get over that mentally. It took me about 3 or 4 days to do that, but eventually I was able to fall asleep pretty easily with my mouth taped. When I was looking at my sleep data, it didn't have a tremendous effect, but one thing I can tell you is it did seem to lower the number of times I woke up. I'm not sure exactly why it was. I didn't really like it, so I didn't continue with it. But that was my experience personally. Lots and lots of people have got different experiences, and there's a lot of different tape out there that you can buy. What do you need? You need what's called 3M micropore or medical tape. It's very easy to find. You just go to the first aid section of any drugstore. Now, I'll tell you, there are some products out there that are specifically mouth taping products. I've never done a review of them, but as a general guideline, you probably don't necessarily have to have something specific. Again, 1 or 2 strips vertically on your mouth. You would never go horizontal, ever. Remember, the goal of taping isn't to actually seal your mouth shut. That's what a lot of people think. It's literally just to remind the muscles in your face to relax and emphasize breathing through your nose. All right, so when might you want to talk to a doctor? If you've had a sleep study, then you've probably been ruled out for sleep apnea. If you try the mouth tape because you're a mouth breather and it doesn't work out, it's probably time to talk to your doctor. Because what's probably going on at this point is lots of nasal congestion or some type of anatomical issue that's not allowing you to breathe. So I would tell people that if you're not getting good quality sleep at night or you're waking up feeling unrefreshed after about a week or 2 of sleeping with that mouth tape, that's probably when you want to talk to your doctor. Remember, proper breathing is incredibly important. And there's some specific ways you can breathe that can help you relax and actually help you fall asleep. I put together a video about some of my favorite breathing techniques right here. This is Dr. Michael Bruce, the Sleep Doctor, wishing you sweet dreams.